Okay, Wildcats. Today we're looking at Thursday, August 30th. Now, it's not going to be any video, but we're going to do quiz one first, okay, in class. It's going to be a short quiz. You'll all get 100 on it. It'll be great, okay? Then, following that quiz, once the quiz is over, then we're going to go into what's in this video, domain and range, and that's going to be on page 5, okay? Now, there's not going to be a video for Friday, August 31st because you're going to finish you're going to basically finish your notes and example depending on how long it takes for the quiz on Friday and then finish the assignment as well. Okay, so I'm kind of giving you 2 days for domain and range since you're going to take the quiz on Thursday. Okay, so with that, let's get started. All right, imagine that you could list every single ordered pair on the graph of a function. Now, just as I'm reading that, don't forget this is going to be on page 5 in your journal. Okay, all right. The domain tells you what all the x values will be. The range tells you what all the y values will be. Give the domain and range of the graph. F of x equals parentheses x plus 1 squared minus 3. Okay? It says look at the graph of this function. So let's do that. Okay? Now, I'm going to use the Inspire to graph that. If you don't have an Inspire with you, you can wait till class to watch this video. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go on, new document, no, add graph. And then we're going to graph parentheses x plus 1 squared minus 3. Kind of got a glare, but I think you can see it enough to understand what's going on, okay? All right. So there we go, off to the side there. Now it says, for example 2, follow the graph from left to right. What will eventually be used as the x coordinates? Now, you can see here from left to right, this graph keeps going in both directions, okay? So the domain in this case would be all real numbers, okay? Or in interval notation, negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay, now it says follow the graph from bottom to top. Now here, I'm going to go to Menu, View, Grid, Line Grid. I'm going to add Line Grid because I need to see the bottom. And here I can see -1, -2, -3. Okay, so you can see here the bottommost number is -3, and the graph is greater than that. So in inequality notation, you can say the range is y greater than or equal to -3. Now, in interval notation, you say that's bracket -3 to infinity. Okay? All right. So now just some symbols. This is less than, this is greater than. This double R, it's a little hard to see here, is the set of all real numbers, which this is that symbol right there. Okay? Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. E is an element of the set, which we haven't got into yet. If it's a parentheses, we mean the number is not included. Now, the parentheses could be in this direction or this direction. Bracket means the number is included, and it can be in this direction or this direction. Okay? Now it says write each domain and range in any one, can't talk there, inequality notation, and let's go ahead and do interval notation. Okay? And that's actually not example, this was example 1. This is example 2, 3. No, that's okay on example numbers. All right, so let's go ahead and graph that. Okay? So I'm going to go to on, new document, no, add graph, 0.5 x squared minus 3. Now again, I'm going to go to Menu, View, Grid, Line Grid. All right, so here, domain, and really I'm hoping you start to get it, but when it's quadratic, the domain is going to be always all real numbers. And in inequality notation, we write that. Now, in interval notation, we write negative infinity to positive infinity. Now, the range from bottom to top, so that's bottom is -3, so and it's greater than, so we'd say y greater than or equal to -3, or in interval notation, -3 to infinity. All right. So now let's look at example 3. So I'm going to go to on, new document, no, add graph, and then I'm going to grab 2x plus 4. Menu, I just get in the habit, I think I like grid. It's nice to have grid lines there. Now, here you can see from left to right, there's no stopping point. So we could say the domain is all real numbers in inequality notation or in interval notation, negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay. Now, here, from bottom to top, again, it keeps going in infinite directions. So again, in inequality notation, we say all real numbers, or in interval notation, negative infinity to positive infinity. Okay. All right. So now let's take a look at, and this is where it's a mistake. This should be example 4. This is example 5, example 6, example 7. Now, you're going to see me make some, like, kind of some typo mistakes here and there, but I say let's correct it in the video instead of, like, let's save a tree and not make new copies just for a couple mistakes, okay? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to write this in interval notation and also a graph. Same thing here, so let's do that. So in inequality notation, we say x is less than 2. In interval notation, what we're saying is since it's less than 2, we're coming from negative infinity to 2, and it's not including 2. Okay, and the reason we know that is if you look at the graph. Now, this is a cool little idea when you look at it, and this only works when x is on the left. When x is on the left, this arrow is telling you where to shade. Since there's no line underneath, it's an open circle at 2, and you can kind of use it as an arrow. It's telling you to shade left because it's less than. That only works when x is on the left. Okay. Now here, when you have x in the middle, that means you're going to have the numbers in the middle. So that's a parentheses because it's not including -1, comma, bracket 3 because it's included. Now again, because x in the middle, that means you're going to have 2 dots, one on the left, one on the right, and the information or the shading on the middle. So we have an open circle at -1 because there's no line underneath, and a closed circle at 3 because there's a line underneath, and then we shade in the middle. All right, example 6. So did this on purpose. See how I gave you inequality notation, you had to do interval. Now I'm giving you inequality notation, or interval notation, you have to do inequality. And real simple, this and this are in essence the same concept, so this should look like this. So -4 less than x less than or equal to 5. Okay? So open circle at -4, closed circle at 5, and then we shade in the middle. All right. Now this is, we haven't done yet, but it's the pieces of kind of both of these. So let's do this first. So this, again, is going to look like this. So that's -1 less than x less than or equal to 0. Okay. This u means or. Now that's saying 2 to infinity. That means x is greater than 2. So we have an open circle at -1, closed circle at 0. We shade in the middle. Or, that's when we have the gap. X, again, the arrow's going to the right. So we have an open circle at 2, and we're shading to the right. All right. Now, at this point, you can start working on your assignment Thursday and then finish it on Friday, or depending on how you might have run out of time in class on Thursday. So then you can look at, and before I say that, tear this page. This page is going to go in your journal, and then this page is due on Friday, August 31st at the end of class. Okay? So with that, have a wonderful Wildcat day.